My name is Mr. DiCarlo, and I invite you to join me in a semester-long journey called anthropology. In anthropology, we'll be studying the large question of what does it truly mean to be human? Where did we come from as humans? What were early humans like? How did we change as the environment and our culture changed around us? How can digging up things in the dirt teach us about our past, about ourselves, and about where we may be headed in the future of humankind? How on earth did we go from painting simple pictures in caves to creating languages and alphabets and the millions of ways in which we use language and vocabulary in our world today? We share many similar characteristics across humans: religions, languages, various ways of expressing ourselves through art. And yet we're very different. How are we all the same species and yet express ourselves in very different ways, both physically and culturally?
Students should take this class because it's very unique to any other class in the school, and Mr. DiCarlo does an amazing job of teaching it. There's no other class like this in the social studies department. It's a lot of fun. You're going to learn about a lot of things that you didn't know. You're going to be able to explore other cultures.
So join me as we dive into archaeology, physical anthropology, communication and linguistics, and the diverse world of cultural anthropology.
What's the fuss? Tell me what's happening. Current World Affairs will do just that. All you need to know, all you want to talk about, everything you want to say in one class.
And I think current issues are extremely important because kids should know what's happening around the world and in our country. So I would highly recommend this. We do a bunch of class discussions. Every Wednesday we have a huge debate over some big topic. And then you learn a ton of new statistics, new information regarding those issues, and I would highly recommend it.
Hi, my name is Andrew Busey. I teach AP US Government and Politics here at Monarch High School. This course, designed by the College Board, is a college-level introductory political science class that gives you an in-depth look at how our government functions. Okay guys, Unit 3. And AP Gov is going to be all about a link between me, and this is what I look like, okay, and my government, which will look just like this.
You need to draw up here, don't you?
Yeah. Okay, is that better? All right, so the question is, what is it that's available to me that allows me or you, any citizen, to link with their government, okay? If you enjoy discussing politics, have a curiosity in our government structure, and ultimately want to know how policies are made in Washington, D.C., this is the class for you.
If this looks like a map of the world to you, then this is the course that you should be taking. As we slowly pan through some of the greats, some of the legends of European history, if you can identify these people, these things, these symbols, you are way ahead of the game, and you could be making an A in a weighted course, getting college credit before you leave high school.
AP Euro is a really good class to take because if you really like history, Mr. Manley gives you a lot of freedom to just absorb the information how you want to, and there's enough testing that you have to be accountable for what you learn, but it's still like a class you can take at your own pace, and it's really good, especially if you just love history.
Smart kid. It's not too late. You could be just like him. Hi, my name's Mr. Finley, and I'm the sociology teacher here at Monarch. I want to take a few minutes and talk to you as you fill out your course offerings and your class selections for next year, and share with you a little bit about the class I teach, sociology. Sociology is the perfect class to take either your junior or senior year, especially if you're a social studies enthusiast, as it's going to bring together all the hard work you put in over the last few years here at Monarch, as it combines ideas that relate around economics and government, history and geography, anthropology, and psychology. It's the class that looks at society, human and group behavior. Have you ever wondered why it is that boys here at Monarch don't wear dresses? Well, we'll explore different issues that revolve around social constructions of gender, race, and sexuality. Have you ever wondered what role and influence does the media, our friends, our families, church, what kind of role do they play in making us who we are? Have you ever wondered about why is there such inequality in our country? Maybe it's economic in terms of rich and poor, or maybe it's in other areas like our prison population. Why is it that we see unequal representation of whites and minorities?
Sociology is a great class. You get to learn about your environment and you get to learn why society functions and the components that make up a society. You should take this class because it's really fun. You get to talk to a bunch of people, you get to make a bunch of new friends, you get to reflect on your life and a bunch of things that are around you.
These are a few of just the many topics we will talk about. We'll look at humanity and society's successes and their failures and try and figure it all out.
Have you ever had that feeling where you're almost all the way asleep and then you just all of a sudden feel like you're falling and you're awake? Have you ever wondered what that's called? Well, it's called the hypnagogic jerk. And you're going to study that and many other things if you take psychology next year with Mr. Boris. Psychology is a one-semester class where we'll get into the study of human behavior. What makes humans behave the way that they do? We'll start out with just talking about basic things like where you sit in a classroom. How does that affect what other people think of you? How does that show part of your personality type? How does your body language let other people know about what you're thinking? We'll study lots of different ways to look at human behavior. Biological perspectives, evolutionary perspectives, cognitive perspectives, cross-cultural. We'll study different parts of the brain next year. How do neurotransmitters work? How do they convey information in your head? And how do different neurotransmitters actually affect our moods? We'll study states of consciousness. How does drug use affect your brain, your body, your behavior? What are addiction issues and how can they be treated? We'll also do a sleep lab. That's right, you're gonna come into class and sleep for an entire block day.
Psychology is actually the best class I've taken at Monarch. It's actually engaging, there's not much homework. It's the best elective you're gonna take yeah.
Take psychology and learn more about what makes you you.
enroll in the class for next year. It's a great start for your AP career if you haven't tried one yet, because they're one semester classes, and you're going to learn a whole lot about how money works in our society.
Students should take this class because number one, it applies to their future, but number two, is one of the most interesting classes I've ever taken. In the class, you get to just focus a lot on the economy going on in the world, as well as learn all of the tricks of economics, which applies to everything that you're going to do in the future. I've learned so much about supply and demand. I've learned about how corporations make decisions. I've learned how people price things, which have actually applied to me when I go Christmas shopping. But it's a really great class, and the teachers are amazing.
This class is often an intro AP class for freshmen, but I would really suggest you taking it as an upperclassman because it is a synthesis of what you've been learning in your social studies classes all along. We're going to have some history, we're going to have some anthro, we're going to have some government, because we look at different topics around the world of how are those patterns and processes making us different. How are those patterns and processes making us the same?
Geography helps you to connect the things you see in the news, what you read in books, what you see in television, and what you are encountered with in the world on a day-to-day basis. And geography is a way by which you can connect all sorts of mediums, from science to social studies to LA to math, in a way that brings it all together and helps you to understand your place in the world and the place of others around you.
I'm Sean McCoy, and I teach the economics class here at Monarch High School. And what you're going to learn is you're going to get personal finance. That's a required graduating requirement. And you're going to learn micro and macroeconomics. We're going to do some studies in the stock market, and we're going to do some studies on small businesses and large businesses, and the type of businesses that you might want to start from an entrepreneurial point of view. It should be great.
Economics or econ is a really good course to take because it's practical knowledge. I know a lot of people complain about, like, when am I ever going to use this in real life? Well, the stuff you learn in econ, you will actually use in everyday life once you get out of college, out of high school. And it gets your personal finance credit out of the way, which is a bonus. My favorite part of econ was probably learning about stocks and being able to go and compete in the Junior Achievement Stock Market Challenge in Denver.